what's the one out of those 28 films that you wanted to pick this time as one of your favorite times making a film? What was that film?
Wet Heat.
Wet Heat? Wet Heat!
Exactly.
Wet Heat. Okay, guys, so we're going to talk about Wet Heat. I, of course, am the writer-director of the film, and Casey played the...
two characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So Casey played the world-infamous TeenApe, and the president of show business. And this film, we shot back-to-back with TeenApe Goes to Camp. TeenApe Goes to Camp was July of 2007.
Yeah.
And Wet Heat was September of 2007. So there was a month break.
That sounds about right.
And we lobbed those out. And actually, those were the only two movies we made in 2007 because my son came into the world. River was born.
Okay.
And it was kind of a dry year. But, I mean, end of the year, to knock those two out of the park.
Yeah.
And they were, at the time, and still in my heart, and I don't know about you, but I would assume so, they were truly the last of the TeenApe films.
Correct. For sure. Yeah, and I forgot that we shot that at the same year because definitely TeenApe Goes to Camp, you know, if we do this again, that would also be, it's up there, for sure. 100%. But Wet Heat just a little bit more. Maybe because well, you know, we'll talk about it.
This time, when we're making TeenApe Goes to Camp and Wet Heat, it had been about 7 years of Casey playing TeenApe. And I know that we were both sort of
crazy,
sick of it. I personally was tired of writing the character. And I think it kind of shows in Wet Heat, not in a bad way, but in a, okay, if this is going to be the last one, he's going to be a little bit different from what he normally is in the other film.
For sure. Yep.
And he was. And he was. And it lent itself, the story lent itself to him as this character and vice versa. And anyway, so, but I feel, and we're about to go into your memories, but I feel that it definitely was a great 1-2 punch of a send-off for that character. And I think the proper send-off for that character.
I think so too. You know, it's funny, I was reading comments on Wet Heat online, and there is actually a lot.
Oh well, I'm sure they're all.
And people prefer TeenApe Goes to Camp, I think, as a quintessential TeenApe portrayal, and I think because it is classic TeenApe. But I think even though, you know, would I play TeenApe again in an animated thing? Sure. You know what I mean? In a comic book? Sure. For sure. But
a voice for the comic?
Yeah, you know? If someone needed an audio book of TeenApe's memoirs, yeah, I would do it. But I think
I'll be writing that, so don't even try.
Don't think about it, Brassfield. But as you placing that character in the Snake Plissken-esque role, I think that would be the only way to really do it as a future live action. Not that I want to, but I'm saying, like, would be TeenApe has to be more. He has to be something else. Someone else, something else. I think it's the only way it would really work. So, yeah, I think at this point of filming, TeenApe Goes to Camp was the last sex romp. TeenApe last, you know. But, and then really TeenApe Wet Heat was his swan song. And I don't really consider the other things that TeenApe did after that much of a TeenApe.
I don't, no. No. And it was clear that it was dragging You know?
Yeah.
The dead horse had been severely beaten. Do you have any recollection of those two movies being the last TeenApe movies? Like, do you remember us having a conversation saying, you know what, let's do this and he's done?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Because I feel like I knew it.
Yeah.
That I was like, this is it, you know? Because I felt like by writing the end of Wet Heat, it's him leaving.
Yeah.
Bonejack Heights and just saying I'm out, and that was supposed to be thanks for the times, everyone.
And you got rid of. Did you get rid of the mask after that? Because the next thing that we shot is TeenApe, right?
Oh, yeah, but it was 2 years later,
City.
so I don't think I did quite yet.
No, but we didn't have the mask in Atlantic City. Remember?
No, the thing we did after this was the Trauma movie.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we had the mask for that.
Yeah, so it must have been right after the Trauma movie, which was a disaster.
Okay, so I don't remember, because it's always a never say never, you know what I mean? I think there's always that, so I thought, like, you know, we're done, but if there was a good, and clearly we thought 2 years later there was a good enough reason to bring him back, then we're gonna do it. So that's the only thing. Like, yes, I thought, like, okay, this is the end of TeenApe's run, but at the same time, sometimes he gets dusted off or cryogenically unfrozen to come out to save the day again, in his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could say, it a million times about everybody, but if something good enough comes to your brain, you may want to dust off those.
I can't tell you how many times I've told people no, that he's never coming back.
Well, I know.
The last 5 years.
Oh, well, I know.
I've been like, fuck no.
After the last thing, absolutely not.
I mean, we shouldn't have even done that thing.
No.
Yeah.
But, again, if it was a different form completely, I would totally do it. Because I think it would be funny. And I think it would be funny in just like these guys on Entra. I think we would do it in a little bit different way to make it still super funny, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I would really have to make myself laugh to write TeenApe again. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I just don't find them appealing to write anymore. You just... I don't know. And that was even during the writing of Sex Squatch versus TeenApe. Mm-hmm. I was just like, man, this is a struggle. Like, this character is just, why did I do this?
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Wet Heat.
Mm-hmm. Which was a good time.